In this video, I'm going to chat about 5 things that I should have bought way sooner to help me with my fly fishing. These are things that I've learned are incredible to help you fish, completely change the way that you can fish easier and catch more fish. So let's jump right into it and chat about these amazing bits of fly fishing kit that I love now. Number 1 is good fly boxes. Now, this might seem a little silly because a fly box only really holds your flies, but there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. So fly boxes in general, when you start off, they're quite small, they tend to be quite flimsy, and fly boxes are a wide range of sizes and qualities. So when you first start, a small fly box tends to do you quite well because you've got all of your flies, you've not got very many flies in one box, and therefore you can just go around with one box, use that one box. However, as like anything, fly fishing is one of those things that is just so much fun. You're going to build up a wealth of flies. There's so many different flies to have for so many different situations. And fly boxes is one of those things that I think really improves your fishing when you have them organized. So if you have decent quality fly boxes and decently sized ones so that you can have all of the stuff that you need with you. So if you're fishing a river, for example, you can't carry around massive boxes, but you do need quite a lot of flies. So a decent fly box that has slotted foam inserts is one of the key things, because you're able to put flies in and take flies out very well without it actually damaging the foam. Because one of those things about fly boxes is if you've got to insert the fly into the foam, that's going to damage that foam over time and you're not going to be able to use that forever. Whereas slotted foam inserts tend to hold their strength pretty well. They're not having a hook constantly inserted into them and taken out again. So I really think that good fly boxes with slotted foam inserts, a magnetized open is another key element of it, because it's so easy to open and close. You don't have to faff about with trying to do a clasp all the time. It really makes a difference. And you've also got all of your flies in one place, in one box, that's small enough for a single situation. So I would organize mine by dry flies, nymphs, lures, bung flies, whichever type of fishing you're doing individually, you know which box you can bring out and look at. That really helps me, and I think that's a big game changer, rather than just having your flies scattered across all fly boxes. Try and organize your fly boxes and improve the quality of them. Number 2 is a real biggie, fly lines. And we're going to be quite specific with this. Fly lines that are sinking is my key in this one. So sinking fly lines have one key element that you need to take into account, and that is how fast do they sink. So midge tips, they are generally labeled as slow or fast sinking tips, and then the rest of the lines are separated by how many inches per second they sink. So like a slow glass is generally 1 inch to 1.5 inches, a fast glass is 1.5 inches to 2, and then die 3 is 3 inches a second, so on. All of these labels are from major name brands like Airflow, like Scientific Anglers. There are a load of different companies that do sinking lines, and those brands, those high-end brands, do very good lines that are consistent to how their lines sink. My point with this one is, I wish I never bought cheap sinking lines or cheap midge tips, because they are incredibly inaccurate to how fast they sink. I've never found a very cheap fly line that has a midge tip or a sink tip or a sinking line that actually sinks at that rate. I've once bought, one of my favorite fly lines is actually a clear intermediate when I first started that said it was a fast glass. When I started fishing from a boat, I found that when I was fishing that fast glass next to someone who was fishing a die 3, my clear intermediate sank faster than their die 3. So clearly I was not fishing a fast glass in the sense of how quickly it sinks. And that's a key thing. So my second thing is, I wish I bought sooner high quality sinking fly lines, because they actually do what they say on the packet. And that's really important for knowing how to fish your flies and at what depth they're going to be at. So low quality sinking fly lines, they are good for beginners, they're good for just trying out. And sure, if you get one that you like, that's amazing, you should use that, it's really cheap. But if you want reliable, consistent fly lines that sink at the rate that they say they do, then more expensive options are much better and more reliable. So I would go with those. Number 3, it's an interesting one, is sunglasses. Now, sunglasses is not just the overall moniker of what we're chatting about here, but specifically Polaroid sunglasses. The polarized nature of sunglasses, when they have that UV help over the top of them, that makes you be able to cut through the top of the water, the glare on the water, and be able to see fish much more easily. So if you're fishing from a bank, a river, even from the boat, when you have fish coming quite up close to the boat, if you're pulling, if you're casting away and you're able to see a fish turning, Polaroid sunglasses give you information that you can't have without them. It's one of those things that really changes your fly fishing, and it's so simple. You would think, oh, him wearing sunglasses over there, he's catching loads of fish. Why am I not catching any fish? If he's sight fishing and individually covering fish, then you might not be able to do that because you've not got Polaroid sunglasses. So it's one of those things that seems really simple but is incredibly helpful, and I wish I bought Polaroid sunglasses much sooner. So that's a real key one, and a bit of a simple one too. I want to give a quick aside in this video. One of my best pals, Andy, was up at Lochter, and he recently bumped into a fan of Vice Flies, having recognised Andy from some of the videos, and his name's Luke Morrison, and it was really nice to see someone so active, so young, and interested in fly fishing to be out with his mum up at Lochter. So it's a big shout out to you, Luke. Keep in it fly fishing, keep going, keep catching those fish, and I'll probably bump into you on the water at some point. But next up is a real new one. This is one that I've only really started using in the past 2 months or so, and it's actually because of you guys on YouTube. I've only just recently started using an elastic band to dry my dry flies, and it's been amazing. Using an elastic band to simply pull out the elastic band, put the fly in there, and ping the elastic band a couple of times has been amazing for drying off dry flies. It really gets that sort of quick action on the feather without too much commotion. You don't have to wave it around or blow on it. You could just ping that elastic band a couple of times with the dry fly either inserted into it or on one side of it. If you're pulling your nylon tight, you ping the elastic band with your nylon pulled, and then you'll be able to use it no problem. It's really been a bit of a game changer for dry flies because it's so fast and it's so simple to carry around. So elastic bands are amazing for drying off your dry flies. Finally, last one up is a good quality landing net. Now, this one was a little bit controversial from one of my videos in the past when I was slating folding nets a little bit, and some people tend to like folding nets, but in my general sense and my experience, folding nets are really bad. They tend to not function nearly as well as a good quality landing net. You want it to be lightweight, you want it to be sturdy so that you can actually land a fish on it, and you want it to have a good mesh so that you don't catch your flies in it all the time. And every single folding landing net I've ever had has always had a fabric landing net material, which really easily catches flies, and it's really it's a big hassle to be able to take flies out of fabric material as opposed to either rubberized material or nylon or something that's not nearly as catchy as a fabric material. And it just doesn't have the structure there. So a good landing net is something I should have bought sooner. And what I want to see in a good landing net is a good 20 to 21 inch rim with a nice solid aluminium frame, or something even lighter if you want to go something more expensive, and a rubberized mesh. That's all you really need. Something that's got a big head to it, it's got a nice rubberized mesh, and is sturdy and is lightweight. That's all you really need in that sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any more gear that you can think of that was a real game changer for you that you should have bought sooner, pop it down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheerio.